Hello, welcome back. Let's continue with the dungeon crawler and let's start by making sure that when a party member gets damaged, that it actually updates the hit points on the screen. So let's get started. So we already have a view model that publishes the world state. We would need something similar for party information. So let's see. So we might already have some view model tests. Let's add a new one. When the hit points for a party member change, the and the view model updated. Let's change that typo as well. When the view model notifies its observers. Notifies observers of hit point changes. Sure, that looks great. So we can make a very simple world. And we have a view model. We observe the view model, and then we say world dot perform a command, and we'll do. Let's see, how did we do the damaging? Let's say we do the from right one, and this one takes damage. 2. So we update the view model, and then we insert that our observer now has a state, but maybe it should also let's see. Oh, we will need a publish variable. We'll call it party that's think. I've got current HP. And this will also be called then party stat. Will be the one we get passed in, and we store this in answerables. So we'll need to fill in some of the gaps because we need a party stats variable, and we will need a type. So we have an observer, and then we can say party stats dot what font right party member current HP equals something like this. So let's fill in the blanks. So let's see. So we need a way of getting access to the party's statistics, and one thing we could do is just reuse our party members class. But the thing is, getting these to trigger is slightly different, and also this would then require us more or less to create Well, we don't need to make a copy, but at least observing changes for the party members without making partner members themselves observable is a bit tricky. So my idea is to create in our view model a sort of in-between data structure for party stats. And this one will have some party members. And we create them from the party members themselves. Something like this. And this means we also need a party member that will have at least a current HP. And we will initialize this one from a party member. And we'll say self.current HP is party member dot health. And now we can start filling in the blanks to a bit. So we could say party, our members is party members dot map. And then we create a new party member that's from the party member. That we can't do it like this, but we might be able to do it using we need to get all party members. So now we can have our party members here. We map those to party member stats or party member. And we now should have access to a set of party stats that have at least some members. And now let's see how much of a compilers is now slightly more happy. Not too much yet. So our party stats ideally would use similar type of subscript. Returns a party member stats. And let's see, now in our view model, we can add published variable of type party stats. And we need to initialize this variable. Can we just create an empty one? Probably, and we'll look further into it in a bit. So let's see if we can at least have a compiling test right now. Or almost. So we need to create an empty one here as well. So we now should at least have something that compiles. Let's see if we at least can run the test. Okay, so the test runs, but it fails because we are getting the wrong hit points back. And the reason is that in our view model, we're never updating our party stats on the party members, and we can indeed use that one here as well. So let's see if this now at least passes the test. Okay, so the test passes. Let's quickly commit this. A new test. Let's see what it was called. And let's see if it does what we expect it to do. Let's run our project and click on damage. And oh no, we're still not getting an update here. Oh, and that's most likely because we forgot in the game view to get this data from the view model instead of from the, let's get rid of the canvas, world directly. So we have a party members view. This should come from the view model. And this should take the party stats, meaning that our party members view should take a party stat. And this is now called current HP. I really need to standardize on this. So probably I will call it current HP everywhere, but let's see if this should now become a party stats. Okay, let's see if this helps. Now we can damage and we at least get an update of HP. Okay, and we can go below 0, but that's something to consider at a later time. So let's see where we are. We have this view model. You can use it in the game. Okay. Also, let's quickly rename this to current HP because we otherwise keep on making the same mistake over and over again. Okay. What's next? One thing I'm interested to see is if we also get an update if we don't change anything. So let's say when the hit points for a party member don't change and the view model is updated, then the view model shouldn't notify its observer. So we take out the take damage one. And now we expect, we don't expect an update. So how can we check this? It would mean seeing if this one actually triggered. So I'll need a slightly different observer. create a spy, and all this one does is check what was updated. And we initialize it to false. And when we get a party stat change, we say, no, that updated is true. And then we can assert that our spy was updated. And this one should be false. However, I'm not sure if this is exactly how it works. So it was indeed updated. Probably each time you do an update of the view model, it always creates a new party stat. So one way to prevent this is to say, what if we make parties that's equatable? And this means that we also need to make party member stats equatable. We could say that updated stats. Let's say we have an updated stats is this one. And then if we say updated stats is not the same as the party stats, then we say party stats is our updated stats. So this means we only update the when party stats changes. So let's see if this helps. Not yet. Not sure why we have an object will change here because it shouldn't be necessary, but okay, let's see if this. It still says that the spy was updated. It could be that it is because we do it for the first time here. So perhaps we should create a counter. We set it to 0. Let's see what we get back. So we get one update. And what if we never call the ViewModel update function? Do we also still get one? Okay. So maybe, yes, maybe it isn't necessary. That would be really cool. Okay, that one is necessary. So let's add, keep this one. So we always get at least one update when it's initializing the world. I guess it makes sense. Let's see if we still have this update. We still have our state. Okay, this one also still updates. Well, then this is probably an improvement and something we can commit. One last thing I just want to check. I'm not sure if I will actually change this, but I would like to see if this one also always triggers or whether we need to do something similar here as well to make sure it doesn't always update. So let's see. maybe we rename this one to update player stats counter. And we have an update date counter. And we have a similar thing here that we do the update date counter when our world state changes. And we create a similar test and the state for the world doesn't change. And the view model is updated and the view model should notify the server. So then we check the update state counter to be 1, because ideally it only does this once. So let's see if we get a 1 or a 2 back. Okay, so we get a two back, meaning that we also need to check this here. So we need to check if world state is different from world.state. And if it is, then we update it. Okay, so the test succeeded. The thing is, it's a really a detailed thing. Because worst case, we're updating the view every frame, but still, it's not needed here. So let's not and do all these updates when they are needed, because who knows how many observers they have. So that can quickly become quite hefty. So let's continue. I think let's run the project once more. We can damage, and we can still win. See if we can also quickly make sure that we lose. How about in our content view, we damage them all. So now they all go down, and now we're in the lose state. Okay, well, I think that's a good progress for today. We'll continue this next time. Thanks for watching and have a great day.